Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain persecution of Christians under Modi era. Content for this video I given in the description. You can go through and study. Christians in India have been persecuted for decades. Yet since 2014 and the enactment of anti-conversion laws, persecution against Christians has significantly increased. Multiple news organizations reported an increase in the number of incidents of violence against Christians after the BJP government under Narendra Modi came to power after the general election in 2014. Reported incidents of abuse carried out against Christians in India went up to 177 in 2015 and escalated to 300 in 2016, according to the Evangelical Fellowship of India. Violence remains at an extreme level and the situation for Christians is becoming increasingly hostile. Coordinated attacks occur at both the individual levels and the institutional level. The persecution of Christians in India sharply increased in the year 2016, according to a report which was published by Open Doors. India was ranked 15th in the world on 2016 in terms of danger to Christians, up from 31st 4 years earlier. According to the report, it is estimated that a church was burned down or a clerk beaten on an average 10 times a week in India in the year to 31 October 2016, a threefold increase on the previous year. According to the All India Christian Council, there was an attack on Christians recorded every 40 hours in India in 2016. In a report by the Indian organization Persecution Relief, the crimes against Christians increased by 60% from 2016 to 2019. There were 330 incidents in 2016, 440 incidents in 2017, 477 in 2018 and 527 incidents hate crimes in 2019. The organization reported there had been a direct link between BJP gaining power in a state and increase in the attack against Christians in the state. In 2017, Evangelical Fellowship of India reported an increase in attacks by right-wing activists on churches on Sundays and other significant days of worship such as Good Friday, Palm Sunday, Christmas and Easter. The police are being used to disrupt and prevent worship in churches and homes. Christian children traveling to Bible camps were put into detention and held for days on suspicious of conversion. According to Catholic media reports, 486 incidents of violence against Christians in the country in 2021, which was a gross violation of their rights. In multiple states, police arrested Christians accused of forcing others to convert. Christian groups said police aided crowds who disturbed worship services. The crowd said were forcibly converting Hindus. Hindu militant vigilantes demolished churches and forced Christians to convert to Hinduism. Since the BJP party came to power in 2014, these militant groups have enjoyed the tacit support and protection of the union government and state governments wherever the BJP is in power. Such protection comes in the form of shielding perpetrator from arrest by local police, biased bureaucratic orders and protection from prosecution. Being a pastor or evangelist in one of the riskiest profile in India now. Hindu extremists target them, their wives and children with violent attacks to show fear in the wider Christian community. Every Sunday is a day of terror and trauma for Christians, especially those belonging to those small churches in BJP ruling states in India. In church after church, the very act of worship has become dangerous despite constitutional protection for freedom of religion. Evangelism is branded as illegal and Christians are refused permission to carry out baptism or even just to gather by bodies. We are not being given our religious freedom. The Indian Christians have suffered maximum violence after Muslims at the hands of RSS goons. The most prominent ideology of RSS declared Indian Christians as internal threat number 2 after Muslims who were declared as internal threat number 1. Hindutva terror groups consider Indian Christians aligned to India. The RSS and its affiliates seems to have been very successful in brainwashing the Indian people. Violence against Christians in India as a tactic used by the right-wing Sangh Parivar organization to encourage and exploit communal violence in furtherance of their political ends. The act of violence include arson of churches, conversion of Christians by force, physical violence, sexual assaults, murders and rapes, and the destruction of Christian schools, colleges and cemeteries. Local police have not provided adequate protection to villagers in the affected areas, even though there have been yearly warnings of violence. In some cases, police have refused to register complaints by members of the Christian community, whereas they have registered complaints by others against Christians. Some Christians who have filed charges with the police have been pressurized to withdraw their complaints. Officers who have taken action in response to anti-Christian attack have been threatened with transfers. The violent acts against the Christian community and Muslim community or any other minority group are in complete violation of the law of the land and the Indian Constitution. If we do not respond to such acts, the secular fabric of India will be lost, causing irreparable damage to the people of India, and an inclusive, democratic and pluralistic India as envisioned in the preamble of the Indian Constitution could be lost forever. The National Commission for Minorities and the National Human Rights Commission, the Ministry of Minority Affairs investigates allegation of religious discrimination, but these agencies have no enforcement powers. The violence escalates in states where the BJP is in power by itself or in a coalition government and is often justified as a retaliation to Christian conversion. The simple truth is that since independence, the percentage of Christians in India has reduced from 2.6% to 2.3%. So all accusations of large scale conversion are blatantly false. Bible talks about persecution of Christians under Modi BJP era. In Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 1. I turned myself to other things and I saw the oppressions that are done under the sun and the tears of the innocent, and they had no composure, and they were not able to resist their violence and being destitute of help from any. Also in Matthew chapter 21 verse 40 and 41, Jesus asked, when the owner, that is God of that vineyard, returns that it's 18th Lok Sabha election, what do you suppose he will do to those renters, that is BJP? He, that is Jesus Christ, will bring those BJP and her allies wretches to a miserable end, that is not get majority on 2024 general election. And they replied, and he will rent the vineyard to other people, that is People's Power Party and BJP coalition tenants, who will give him his share of the crop, that is poor people at harvest time, that is 18th Lok Sabha. Amen. It should happen in India on coming May 2024. Amen. Thank you for Jesus Christ.